All right, let's get started on some more notes. So, again, we are in the 6.2 dividing unit. Don't forget to add your name and date. And we're going to do some more practice with dividing fractions. So pause and do the review on the top. All right, so since this is just multiplication, you don't need to keep change flip. We just multiply straight across to get 7/10. And then with this one, I chose to rewrite it as 48 divided by 8 to get 6. So let's practice some more dividing with fractions. I'm going to write our steps off to the side. Keep, change, flip. That's where we're keeping the first fraction. And then we're changing the sign. So I'm going to write division to multiplication. And then we're flipping. So if I have a fraction of a over b, I'm flipping it to b over a. Those are just some random variables that I picked. So let's look at this first one. 2/4 divided by 3/4. So we're going to keep our first fraction of 2/4. We're going to change the sign and flip the fraction. So instead of 3/4, we're going to write 4/3. And then we're going to try to simplify. Let's see if we can simplify any of these. I see right away that we have 2 4s, 4 and 4. So we can actually divide both by 4 and change them to 1. So now let's multiply across. So we have 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 3 is 3. Wow, we don't even have to reduce that one. All right, let's practice this mixed number. So remember, with mixed numbers, we have to turn it into an improper fraction. So we're going to do that by multiplying the denominator by the whole number. So 7 times 1 is 7, and 7 plus 6 is 13. So I'm going to rewrite that down here so it's easier for me to see. 13, and then I'm keeping that denominator. All right, so now I'm just going to rewrite this again just so I can see what I still have to do. All right, so now I get to work on my keep, change, flip. So I'm going to start with this first fraction. I'm going to write it over here, 13 divided by 7. We're keeping that first fraction. We're changing the sign from division to multiplication. And then we're flipping the second fraction. So 4/1. All right. And now let's just multiply straight across. So 13 times 4. Since I can't use a calculator, I'm going to do that up here. 13 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And then I'm going to carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. So we have 52. And then 7 times 1 is 7. So let's try to reduce this into a mixed number. So I know 7 times 7 is 49. So I'm going to write a 7. And then I'm going to check how many I have left over. So I'm just doing 52 minus 49. 2 minus 9, I'm going to have to borrow. So 12 minus 9 is 3. 4 minus 4 is 0. So this is how much I have left over. So I have 7 and 3/7 left over. All right, now let's move on to some application problems. Evelyn has 3 3/4 cups of M&Ms. She wants to share with 7 friends. How many cups does each friend get? Let's think about what the problem is asking us. We have 7 friends, and we need to split all of these M&Ms. So let's start with our friends. So we have 7 friends, and we need to split 3 3/4 cups to figure out how many cups each friend gets. So since we are dealing with fractions, we need to turn this 7 into a fraction. So we're going to turn it into 7/1, and that's because if you put any whole number over 1, it's just like saying 7 wholes. So 7/1, and then I'm just going to rewrite our fraction of 3 3/4, and now we have to deal with this improper fraction. So we did that above where we multiplied the denominator times the whole number, so 3 times 4 is 12. And then we're adding that numerator. 12 plus 3 is 15. So I'm going to rewrite that over here. 7/1 divided by 15, the 15 that I got from right here, over 15/4, keeping that denominator. And now I get to do my keep, change, flip. So I'm keeping the 7/1, then I'm flipping my sign, and then, changing the sign, and now I'm flipping my fraction. And now I get to multiply straight across. So I have 28, and then I have 15. And I want to reduce this because I want to see how many cups each person gets, because I don't know how many cups 28/15 is. So I'm going to think about 15 times 1 is 15, and 15 times 2, that is 30. So I'm going to simplify this as 1 because I'm going to take 15 out of 28 to figure out how many I have left over. So 8 minus 5 is 3, 2 minus 1 is 1. So I have 13/15 left over. So that's how many cups each person gets. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Try to solve this one by yourself and then come back. So Gianni will need 6 3/4 teachers, or 5 teachers and 1 teacher who has a little bit extra time. But don't forget to write that sentence. With this one, be aware that this is how much of a story he needs, or he has written, and then this is how much each teacher would be reading. So just keep that in mind.